Yellowstone is just a massive super volcano that if it explodes will literally wipe out like our entire country. And on average, it explodes every like 6,000 years. And we are past the window of that happening, and it could just happen at any time. And that makes me terrified.
No, sweet release.
That's the thing. If it was going to like just wipe us out, I'd be chilling. But I think what it's going to do is like blow up and just spread like the type of ash that like kills you very slowly.
Oh, right. Because I've heard people talk about like even like when Mount St. Helens blew, how it was crazy. But if it's like a super volcano, because that's what you die. You suffocate from the ash in the air ultimately.
Yeah.
Maybe Zelensky knows when it's gonna blow. So he's like, you'll see.
Yeah,
you'll see.
You have this big ocean, but
you
also
will feel
super volcano.
Yeah. You'll feel this soon. He was like, you don't tell us when we're gonna feel it. You don't feel it when we want to feel it.
Talking loud.
Say thank you. Say thank you to me.
At night, I dream of you. I want to be your lady baby. Welcome, little mamas and Gentiles alike, to another phenomenal episode of My Momma Told Me,
the podcast where we dive deep into the pockets of Black conspiracy theories
and finally work to prove the conspiracies. We gotta figure that last part out.
Yeah, I guess.
Is it because it's not of them? This is Rob's.
I think it's of everybody. And
yeah,
Rob, we're so happy you're here. We've already broken the
that was a terrible introduction.
Yeah. It wasn't really an introduction.
Yeah.
We didn't even finish our job.
Plural.
Man.
I think we are here to prove all of the possibilities of the world. I think that is objectively what's true. Is it the best way to say it? I don't know yet. But I do think that that's what we're here hoping to prove.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm into that. You know what I've been thinking? You know what I've been thinking?
Yeah, you always set it up so
poorly. I want them to know what we're doing. Yeah. I want them to see how
there's a little game happening.
I want them to see how much work goes into making that delicious treat.
Come on, baby.
They like to eat once a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
Twice a week.
Once a week, twice a week.
Once a week, twice a week. Whenever you listen to it. You know what I've been thinking?
Yes, please.
I think Dr. Umar's doing a press run because he's finally getting ready to open that school.
Whoa.
That's what I think.
Did you see him speak in like he was at a school,
University of Michigan.
Yeah.
My alma mater.
Really? He should have gone.
I wish I'd have known. I would have bought a plane ticket.
And he was like, what was he like? Black Queens Forever, and the whole crowd was like, Snow Bunnies never. He like found his audience at PWI. It was crazy.
It was so crazy because I did not know niggas were like that tapped into him like in catchphrase form.
At 18.
Yeah.
I thought it was like our joke. I didn't know they like younger kids are like joking about this now.
Well, that's my question. Do you think they were joking?
I think there's winks between them.
Yes.
I think some people there probably were finding truth. Like we're laughing, but the
niggas got a good point.
Yeah. There's other people that are like, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Now I have a test to study for. You know?
That would be a great college experience, I feel like. Dr. Umar spoke.
I remember so many people that they had come perform at our school.
Yeah.
I would have replaced any one of them with Dr. Umar.
You didn't have any good ones? They didn't have
I had amazing ones. Janelle Monáe back during the robot years.
That was big. That's a good time to get.
Yeah,
that's a good Janelle
Big
Monáe.
Sean before Big Sean became Big Sean. So on some real hungry selling it, but we also knew he had already been tapped by Kanye.
Yeah.
Right.
He just wasn't.
That's an exciting guy to have at your school.
That's when Big Sean was doing individual merch for every school he went to and stuff. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember his website, and he had a thing. He was like, I am finally famous, and you write in, and then maybe he'd put you up on the blog. And I'm like 1 year in the comedy, and I wrote about like opening for Ronnie Jordan and how like I am finally famous. Yo, it's so embarrassing.
Hoping Big Sean was gonna repost that.
When it comes
to make that permanent.
He didn't pick you though?
Nah, he didn't pick me up. I went to the University of Georgia. We had conflict-free Chrisette Michele.
Whoa, that's
really?
We had Trey Songz. We had T-Pain.
Damn.
We had Godfrey. He didn't tell us James Avery was gay. He just kept that in the tuck in 07, you know?
He really got in trouble, huh? People were really mad at Godfrey.
People were really mad at him.
They're furious at Godfrey for that. I thought that I had always treated that as relatively common knowledge.
I thought that was the cat that was out of the bag and like just a rumor that people had been saying. And I don't know what point of an interview gets to that. Like, I've been interviewed several times, and I've never gotten to the point where it's like, but tell us about Uncle Phil.
Yeah. Or even to the point of, like, you know who's gay.
What was he promoting where he, like, got to the point where they're like, all right, man, come on, you got to come clean. Uncle Phil, what was he into?
Yeah, you're the one to come clean, Godfrey.
Yeah, you didn't
the 7-Up guy. We got to ask you.
We didn't ask you.
Did they ever meet?
I don't know.
I can't imagine.
The story was weird. That was the other thing. The story wasn't like I walked in on James Avery having sex.
Right.
It wasn't like, hey, I was doing voice work for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I was like, whoa, Shredder. Like, it wasn't like that. It was just like, I went to the Gospel Awards and he was using his hands a lot.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I don't think that's
How
it,
does
man.
that confirm?
I think he might just be kind.
I think he's from the theater
like
world.
a motive.
Right.
I think he's like a talented actor.
He just sees someone he hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah. No.
Also,
whatever.
I've seen Godfrey use his hands a lot.
Uh-oh. The rumor mill has started, folks. We don't run from it here at My Momma Told Me.
That's what it's for.
Our guest today, you've already heard him tell phenomenal stories about Godfrey and the like. He's a hilarious comedian, a dear friend. We love him so much on this podcast. You've seen him on The Tonight Show. You've seen him on Comedy Central. He currently is writing for a brand new show called Lil Kev that you can watch everywhere now. It's available.
BET Plus.
BET
It's
Plus.
everywhere.
It's
Come on.
I meant that they're all out. All the episodes are
all
available.
the episodes are out. Yeah.
You can watch Lil Kev on BET Plus. He's the best. Give it up for Rob Haze, ladies and gentlemen.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Get on up. It's bobsled time. Cool running.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Dougie Doug.
Yeah.
Shout out Dougie Doug. People don't shout him out enough
What a
anymore.
run. Cool Runnings. That darn cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cosby.
Yeah. He was on the, like, when it was just the show without show.
Yeah, it was just
He was the number 2 on that, I believe.
Oh, I didn't even know.
above Felicia Rashad.
No.
That's sad.
Was she in the second run of Cosby?
It's Bill Cosby, Felicia Rashad, and Dougie Doug.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
But they're
yeah.
not the Huxtables. It's like
They're not
completely
the
different.
Huxtables. Yeah, they're just
Are they in
they're just
Brooklyn
old
still?
people.
Are they still in Brooklyn?
I don't know where they are. I know Busta Rhymes is in an episode.
I want to say they were in Philly. But
They might have been in Philly.
Yeah.
It was on CBS at a time where I didn't go over there.
No, because all there was like Becker, like Jag.
Yeah.
CBS did not have anything.
I remember.
Maybe Walker, Texas Ranger, Nash Bridges, maybe.
I watched that shit on PAX.
Okay.
You remember PAX?
Okay.
If you didn't have cable, it was like a pseudo Christian channel. Like
we
it
had
was
PAX in Atlanta. They played Hawks games. That's how bad the Hawks were.
Well,
on
they
PAX.
They were basically
Damn.
Christian basketball.
You can watch
Ain't no
the Hawks
devil in this
lose,
basketball over here.
and then watch Touched by an Angel.
What?
Yeah, PAX was trash.
Damn.
I like when packs first dropped, they had like Knight Rider and like some cool stuff. And then they
transferred to being inspirational like a little later. Early packs.
Once they got Highway to Heaven, they was like, yo,
man,
we found our niche.
I don't know what I guess I never had to go through the Christian channel enough.
Y'all had WGN. Y'all didn't need Pac.
Yeah, we had WGN. You're right.
Yeah.
Because UPN was a regular ass channel, and in that way you avoid a lot of like the heartbreak that would have come from.
Right.
We had UPN too. UPN was the go-to, I feel like, for years. And then the WB secondary.
I was at ABC, then UPN, and then
like ABC, like TGI Friday.
TGI Friday.
Man, that was good.
And that you know, there were enough. This was back when they would like replay episodes throughout the week.
Right,
you know what I mean?
A lot of those shows were syndicated.
Yeah.
You got to watch a little bit of Urkel on Friday, but you could watch Urkel a few more other days of the week. Yeah. It was nice.
Yeah.
But Friday got a new Urkel.
Got that new Urkel.
Yeah, he's a robot on Friday. He's a Bruce Lee. I remember that Bruce Lee. That was like the most excited I think I was for an Urkel. Like I remember thinking about it like the week up.
Right.
You know, because it'd be like, on an all new Family Matters, Urkel's going Chinese or whatever they said.
I was waiting to see how they pitched it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how I was going to handle it. I realized I had dug a hole for myself. Yeah.
I forgot about that because, like, Malcolm and Eddie, when they announced that, like, Eddie Griffith was going to do Prince, it was like a whole build-up. And I remember, like, oh, man, I can't wait to see how he ends up being Prince.
It's so crazy.
And how Malcolm's going to hate.
Right.
We're not supposed to have Prince in a tow truck. Wasn't that the premise of that show?
Malcolm ran a restaurant.
Yeah, it was like a restaurant, club, bar /
it was Malcolm's
mechanic.
And then Eddie had a tow truck because he was always making jokes about stuff he had in the truck.
It was a restaurant / mechanic's office.
One-stop shop.
Like they really were like, and that's literally what the episodes would be. Remember? Is that somebody would drop their car off to Eddie and be like, I need you to fix my car. And he'd be like, shit, I can't fix that car. You got to go chill in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And then Mary J. Blige would walk in the restaurant. Like, what's wrong with that guy? He's not a good mechanic. It's like, Mary J. Blige, why the fuck are you here?
That would be how they got you in the week 2, though, was like, on an all-new Malcolm and Eddie. Guess who's stopping by? And then she's just like doing real love with their eyes closed. Like, this, because I remember thinking that, like, I remember always thinking, I was like, musicians have music videos. They're obviously incredible actors. Like, I would want to see them in more stuff.
Yeah.
I saw Fast and Furious because of Ja Rule.
I was disappointed.
They fucked us. They fucked us so.
He was a big pull for you as well.
In the trailer.
It was
the trailer makes it seem like it's his movie.
The trailer does all the things that he does.
You would think it's his family. You think it's the Rule family. Like, and then like it's Rule baby. Like the first scene is like, oh no, and it's like you don't see him anymore. It's like, yo, who are these beige people?
He says 3 things in that movie. He says 3 things in that movie. He says, Menage! And you're like, this is about to be an Oscar-worthy performance.
Ja Rule's locked in. He has been for some time.
He's such a good actor. And then he says, Monica!
Isn't it that he races Vin Diesel and loses?
A girl walks
in
up
the first race.
Right.
Yes. A girl walks up, though. She says, I remember this so well. She's like, if you win, you could have all of this. Or if you lose, you could have this anyways. But if you win, you get her too. And then she takes his hand and puts it on her titty.
Holy shit.
And that's why when he kicks on the nos, he says, Menage!
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Because they had to be clear. I bet they got a note where they were like, it's not clear if he gets to fuck her at the same time.
Right.
I like the world where they added that scene to make him say a menage makes sense. Like Jarrell just says that when he drives first. And then they're like, whoa, we gotta fix it.
Hey man, we've studied car races. That's not like a traditional yell. Can you do it again? He's like, no.
I like to think he said like 5 other things that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And menage was what they had to build it around.
Cowabunga! Like, yo, you can't say that, Gyro.
3-way! Not the same.
Girl, God!
Yeah, I did not remember Ja Rule's heavily featured appearance in the trailer, but you're right. He does. They kill him off from the entire fucking because they didn't bring him back in the
They never brought him back.
No.
He's in the world. He exists in the world. Yeah.
His name is Edwin.
Yeah.
Edwin?
Yeah. I swear to God.
Well, they really hurt you.
That's why I saw the movie.
You have such a
telling you.
it's so permanent for you.
Paul Walker and Vin Diesel got me through and driving under trucks for DVD players. Like, I got through it, but
I miss when they were just
But
thieves.
I wanted...
yeah.
It was better.
Imagine going to space and it starts with you stealing the DVD player.
Yeah.
That's really the American dream. That's what they sold us that could happen in America.
Yeah, that's not what happened with Buzz Aldrin.
Right.
He wasn't stealing fucking 8 tracks. And then they were like,
hey, that man need to go to space.
wait a minute, man. You think you can hold your breath?
Also, the DVD thing, stealing DVDs didn't make sense because even when that movie came out, they already had like DVD players at Walmart.
Right.
Like he was already like a commodity that had been.
Yeah.
That movie had me looking under cars for the longest to see, like when is there? I'm going to see a truck that doesn't have a tire under it.
Yeah.
Because most big ass 18-wheel trucks have at least one tire underneath.
Yeah,
you know.
And you're saying somehow they found trucks.
They found trucks that you could drive a whole car
underneath. No doubt.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of Nas. I had never heard about Nas.
I didn't know about Nas. That became a street term.
It became an energy drink.
Yeah.
It did become an energy drink.
For poorer people. You want the effects of Nas? You want the effects of Nas, but you ain't got a driver's license?
Do you think there are separate energy drinks for rich people? I feel like we all got the same energy
No, I
drink.
think there's separate everything for rich people.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I think rich energy drinks is like an espresso, but like I feel like we all.
But you don't feel like there's a top
juice,
tier?
Crunk juice? It's for everybody.
I think Celsius for a while was in much more privatized spaces.
Oh yeah, that's real.
Yeah. And
that's real.
And I think you and your friends were drinking Crunk juice for some time.
See how he does that sometimes?
He said that because I'm from Atlanta, though, right?
Yeah. And because you weren't drinking Celsius at the time.
Okay, all right.
I think both are true.
Every like little waiting room in Atlanta had a Crunk juice fridge.
Man, so they really
Like a
tried to
mini
get
fridge.
behind it in a real way.
I think I've seen Crunk juice 3 times in my life.
I don't think I ever
it
saw
was like readily available. It was like you know you go other places and there's like cucumbers and water.
Yeah.
It'd be a little Crunk juice fridge.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know
We've got Crunk juice on tap and
sparkling or room temp.
like a hot Crunk juice, please.
Was it good?
It was just like Red Bull or any other thing, you know, except for like endorsed by Lil Jon.
Damn.
I think, and this is my own negative judgment, I would have expected it to be sweet. Like much sweeter.
It's probably a little like they did have flavors, I think, and they were like it was probably worse for you for some reason.
Sure.
Right.
I think it's all that
probably
crunk.
got some poison in there or something, you
You're
know.
not supposed to drink all that crunk.
That's too much crunk.
Yeah. Rob,
Is this hat racist?
yours?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have on a hat of the Suns mascot, which is a gorilla for some reason.
Yep. And
dunking a basketball.
And you're a black man proudly wearing a gorilla on your hat.
I can't believe they made it. I can't believe, like,
it passed like a lot of people.
Unfortunately, the Trump administration has put a lot on the docket that we haven't gotten around
I think
to
we don't worry about
canceling
that no more.
this hat. But I think in the right window of time, this hat would have been out of the paint,
Dog,
bro.
I think
it is crazy.
It's nuts.
I think in a truly egalitarian world, the gorilla would have been eliminated by now.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Been around so long. It's really crazy.
There's no gorillas in Phoenix.
There's no gorillas relating to the sun.
Yeah. They just wanted to make a monkey.
They were like, no, black people playing basketball, monkey.
Damn, Phoenix.
A monkey in a jersey. Let's see if they'll let us do that.
That's the place that it would go through, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like, who's going to vote against it? We don't live there.
It's got to be awkward when the gorilla guy like takes his stuff off and like, you know, might make eye contact with like KD or something and just look like, hey, dude, I got to make money somehow, man. I know what it is, you know, like, don't judge me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have just they could have got anything, though.
They could have got anything.
They could have really been.
Anything that lives in the desert.
Yeah.
Dog,
you can do cats now. You can do
a gecko.
Just do a sun head. Just do a...
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Mascots are, I think gritty is one thing, but I think for the most part, the better mascots are like sexier now. Like a sun is too cumbersome. You mean just the head and then a regular body?
You can do whatever you want with the body. The premise is sun.
Right.
All you have to do is have a head that's interesting. You can do a whole gritty body.
You know what I would do? I would make it a cool guy named Ray.
Right.
Yeah, because it's sun rays and he's got sunglasses on.
I got you. He's dressed like Raphael Sadiq.
Wow, no, that's not at all what
that's Ray.
Yeah. He just got a little just a cool nigga. he smoke a long cigarette and then dunk a basketball. Rob, you came to us today with a conspiracy, and we eventually have to talk conspiracy theory
at some point.
But you came to us with a conspiracy I personally have never heard anybody say before.
Me either. This is exciting, though.
This feels very personal in a way that I'm excited to hear you unpack. You said, My mama told me.
Michael Jackson never got unnecessary surgery.
Yeah.
Tell us everything you know and believe.
So as you guys know, I keep a lot of knowledge about music and stuff.
Yeah.
To the point where the algorithm just feeds me stuff. If there's ever a new resurfaced video of Michael Jackson, it will hit my feed first.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
You're a first responder for Michael Jackson videos.
I'm like that with cartoon ass.
There's never been a time where like somebody sent me a Michael Jackson video and then I've been like, oh, I never seen this one before.
Yeah.
It's normally like, oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Look at this part.
Let's go.
You know?
Right.
So I've been starting to get truther Michael Jackson content coming to me.
Whoa.
Now I will tell you that I found out earlier today. Some of the pictures that I've been getting have been doctored by AI.
How did you find out?
Because I was like making sure I didn't just make this up.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, oh man, there are people that are out here debunking some of the stuff.
You know how I pictured it when you said it? I pictured your wife whispering it in your ear like that man did for George Bush when he found out about 9/11.
About 9/11? She gave him we lost the towers?
The second photo isn't real. The second photo isn't real.
So the thing is, sometimes I'll get I would believe him if they had separated them.
Yeah.
But all the videos I get are like, nah, it's one thing. It's like he didn't bleach his skin and he didn't have any unnecessary surgery.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a lot to tackle in one video.
That's
you're going
what's
crazy.
the Instagram limit?
Like 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Come on, I need at least 10.
Right.
To really cover that in a more substantive way.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
So there's people that believe that, okay, Michael Jackson, the fire, the Pepsi commercial, right?
Which is like
triggered
mid-80s?
his lupus. Yeah. This is like 84, early 84. Triggered his lupus. And then basically that's what causes like some of the like red discoloration that you see in his skin. And then after that, he also has vitiligo, which my father told me he made up. My father didn't even believe vitiligo was a thing.
Oh, he didn't
your
believe...
father thought he was...
My dad,
he didn't believe in the premise of vitiligo.
No,
he said that's not a real disease.
He was like Michael Jackson, like, because when you're a kid, you're looking at Michael Jackson, and then your parents are either like he's black, or you're like, oh man, like he's white, and then your parents are cracking up or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, my parents we had that discussion. I'm like, well, what happened? How did he end up like this? And my dad's like, he made up some disease. Talking about he got vitiligo or something. I don't know. Yeah. And then so I always like remember that in my head, like, oh man, Michael Jackson's so powerful. He made up a disease.
I like that. That's how you thought about it. Was like he's so powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a psychopath.
Michael Jackson.
The man didn't move for 13 seconds, bro. You don't think he can make up a disease? Come on. He walked backwards. Glitter socks, they don't sell them at Walmart.
That's true. That was a crazy thing to come out with. Like glitter sock technology is pretty wild.
On.
Just the high socks alone was such a dangerous decision.
Also, he's wearing those like captain's tassels on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And he's walking with an army of people. Come on,
everything about his style.
Up.
Yeah. Everything about his style would have gotten him literally murdered in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah,
and yet he found a way to.
He's
make
just
it.
like an S&M motorcycler. Like that's
I thought you meant the motorcycle itself. And
no. He just had like bondage gear on.
Yeah, he looked insane.
And bad. That's a crazy outfit.
I think,
yeah,
a lot of belts.
Yeah, straps everywhere.
To your point, he did the impossible.
No.
He did the impossible, and so you believe the disease could have been more proof of his amazing power.
Right. But then later, people were saying he bleached his skin, and then I find these videos saying he didn't bleach his skin.
Well, there was a pretty big window of time in between you finding these videos and everything else you knew.
Right.
Yeah, I think you really rushed that middle part, and I would say that was all of your adult years.
Yeah,
I would say that big chunk that you skipped over was all the years of just common sense building over time.
I wanted to believe it. I think that's it. I think they knew that deep down there's some people that wanted to be like Michael Jackson woke up one day and was like, what happened to me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I gotta call Liz Taylor and tell her like I'm different.
Those people scare me. Anybody else? Because look, I love Michael Jackson. I do not. I recognize that at the very least, what he was doing was completely unhealthy and inappropriate with those children. What scale it went to is not anything I'll ever know, and I think, frankly, any of us will ever know. Right? I think objectively he did bad things with those kids just by spending the type of time he was spending with them.
You don't want any grown man hanging out with your kids for sleepovers.
No, it's nasty. That's a nasty, weird thing to do.
Yeah.
Chill out. Yeah. Right?
Like, that regardless of what their childhood was, or it's just like, that's like a line.
I cannot undo my relationship with the music, with the sort of joy that he represented for me. So Michael Jackson remains, I'm sorry. That said, the idea that you are so wanting him to be a god that you pretend he didn't fuck up, his nose fell off.
I think he's just some people's Trump, man.
We've seen it.
I think he's like...
I think that's true,
I think the same way some people just Trump can't do anything wrong, I think he can't.
He was trying to hit notes. One surgery. That's all I give you. One surgery.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
What about late Michael, though?
What you mean?
Like they don't care about us.
Maybe they didn't do it right.
And then it just got lighter and lighter and light.
One surgery. That's all I give you.
That's, man, wow. That's tough.
That's all you believe in is one surgery.
One surgery.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah. What was the one surgery?
No. Let's take a break.
Let's
leave this on a cliffhanger. Rob believes that there was one surgery that changed everything for Michael Jackson, and everything else is just God, I suppose, doing what he does to the king of pop. Is that our argument?
Yeah.
Okay. When we come back from this break, we are going to find out what that supposed surgery is. This is very exciting. A beautiful cliffhanger. We'll be back. More Rob Haze. More My Momma Told Me.
We're not not going to let Joe Biden and Kamala Harris cut America's meat.
That's dead on
Hey, yo.
That's dead on
It's almost like this guy has something to hide.
We're back.
We're back.
That's it.
But Rob is still here. Rob is still trying to convince us
One surgery.
that Michael Jackson only had one surgery. Please, Rob, if you will, tell us what that one surgery was.
He told us he had the one surgery so he could hit higher notes on his nose. He told Martin Bashir that when Martin Bashir went in his house unannounced and, caused all these problems for my man Mike.
Martin Bashir really acted up on that interview.
Yeah. We didn't even ask for that. We just chilling. And then out of nowhere, it's like, I spent this time with Michael Jackson. Now we see him holding hands with some kid and stuff, climbing trees. We didn't need to see none of that.
On Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Come on, man. The British media, man. They know what they did. So, basically, okay, Michael Jackson, y'all know Icarus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can only go so close to the sun before you know what I'm saying? Your wings start melting. Michael Jackson's seen heights we ain't never seen.
That's true.
He spun more than probably anybody's ever spun.
Mm-hmm.
Just like physically.
Right.
Yeah,
so he probably, some of that nose, some of that color went off in the spin.
I bet.
Oh, it's in the atmosphere.
Oh, you think he spun so fast that it literally just like
Come
flew
on,
off.
man. Yeah. Have we ever seen anybody else spin like that? Why did Barry Sanders quit early?
He was getting too light-skinned.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
He was getting too light for the
Hey, baby,
spin.
am I looking lighter? Barry, you gotta stop.
He said, I don't want to live in Detroit that light.
Barry! You're not the man I married.
This game is ruining our family.
You don't even look like your son anymore. Barry,
He said, you know me, I spin. That's what Barry does.
what you want me to do? Run straight?
Bitch, you married a spinner.
Come on, man. That's what I'm hoping.
Here's what I'm thinking. And I'm not loving what you're saying so far, but it did introduce at least a challenge that I've never faced before. What was the first day that Mike came back that color?
It had to be.
Okay.
Yeah, because you are a great timeline for this.
Yeah.
What's the album timeline?
Okay, it's
Because
between
Dangerous, he was all the way, right?
Dangerous,
Yeah.
he's all the way white.
He's all the way white.
Right.
And then is Bad the album before that?
Bad. Yeah, so it's between Thriller and Bad. Thriller comes out late 82. They shoot the videos in 83. The awards is 84.
And by Thriller, he's already got a new nose.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to acknowledge where that nose came from, but you do acknowledge that nose was not the nose we started with.
That's not the nose we started with.
Okay.
Right,
And he's
right,
also
right.
making plays with the hair.
Yes.
Well, that's just hair at the time.
Right.
The hair's just crazy to us because we grew up in a hip hop high top fade era, but like that was hair at the time. That was
he had a
hair.
lot of baby hairs on Bad.
I think it started to transition from any version of Africanized hair,
right,
and started to transition into a fine Latina woman's hair.
Some type of a Caribbean.
I'm not gonna let y'all do this. So the Pepsi shoot early 84.
Okay,
The hair's burnt,
of course.
So now you got to start experimenting with wigs. They probably don't make Jerry curl wigs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
He would have had the money for the technology.
The hair texture might be different. And also, we don't know what grew back and what didn't grow back. You know, like these are some of the secrets that Mike might have always had a bald spot after that. We really don't know.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
That is reasonable.
I will say, like 85 when he gets the Grammy for We Are the World, he looked different.
He in that We Are the World documentary, he definitely looks different.
When they recorded We Are the World, that's somebody that we know. But then when he came back to get the Grammy, He looked different. You
I was
know
about
what I'm
to say,
saying?
the recording, he is clearly still black,
Yeah.
but he's doing a lot
It's starting
to separate himself
That's how it
physically
feels.
from it. And then to your point, by the time they accept the award, that is a brand new person. Now, my issue is why, and maybe it just speaks to how talented this man was, that he could come back a different color and everybody's just like, yeah, no, we accept that as Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, he still came back strong as well.
Dog, but look how crazy it couldn't exist nowadays. We constantly, bro, we're calling Jamie Foxx a clone and the nigga ain't changed one bit.
It's a lot of freckles.
I mean, no, that's true.
Michael could come back a whole white woman and we'd be like, yeah, that's Michael Jackson. That's the most famous man that's ever lived.
Has anyone ever done a bigger change?
Not at that scale.
Right.
Sammy Sosa, I would say, made a
Sammy Sosa.
change.
That was after the fact, though,
and it's
too.
the same. I don't think anybody's ever done something, you know what I'm saying? Like, where it's like, oh, then they changed their bones. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, like that was like, they probably never seen anything like that. There was probably some people there's also been things that people have been saying, like, you know, like they were switching up the makeup. So you see him, you'll see him like in rehearsal footage and stuff be darker than when you see him perform and stuff. And so like some of it's some like Lil Richard action going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then also, but I mean, maybe it's like years and years of all different types of makeup, all different types of foundation, all different spins. You know what I'm saying? You mix this stuff together, things start changing. Mike been down.
The paint is coming in and somehow
Teddy Riley did Dangerous. You know what I'm saying? He took us to Egypt. Don't think he ain't, you know what I'm saying? Don't think Michael Jackson ashamed of who he is, where he came from.
No, Magic Johnson was in that Remember the Time
Magic
video.
Johnson was in there,
Eddie
and there
Murphy.
was probably some people on edge about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
they debuted that on Fox.
Naomi Campbell wasn't.
No, it was Iman.
Yeah. Naomi Campbell was in the
keep it in the closet.
Keep it in the closet.
That's a good song.
Hey,
I feel like people really don't let that.
That's a very formative video for me.
Oh yeah,
the beat is great. The video is great. I really don't understand what the song is saying.
No, that's not the point.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are we
is
keeping
blood
in the
on the dance
closet?
floor about?
Come on, man.
Oh, well, that's about being a crip.
Yeah, that crib picture is real. You know what picture I've always wondered is real, and I feel like you're the one to ask? The one where he's got the bottle and the two little ladies. The two little, you know, the little people ladies.
No, I know what you meant.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not the person to verify if stuff is real or not, but I've seen it, and I would love to know the story.
Me
for
too.
Sure.
I think about that a lot.
There's also that picture, like it's clearly somebody like opened the door and took a picture, and he looking stressed out.
Yeah,
and it's like a lady right there by the bed or whatever.
Yeah. Wait, let me see.
This is what you're talking about with this. Where he's drinking with these two little people? You're familiar with this piece?
I tried to put it on a hoodie, but Zazzle wouldn't let me do it.
What does that mean?
You know,
is he in charge of hoodies?
No, those websites where you could like make your own hoodie.
Oh, they were like, this image isn't allowed.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I also tried to do one with Manute Bol in the swimming pool, and they wouldn't let me do that.
Damn,
that would be a cool on a hoodie.
That'd be a great.
Yeah,
you should get it embroidered. I bet they don't have the same.
So he's got like a 40. I thought you meant like a baby bottle, and I was like, that's insensitive.
He's just having a good time.
That's really messed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got
not
a 40.
mocking them. He's like, these are my people.
Yeah.
No, he looks comfortable.
That's Lil Denise and that's Lil Mariah.
He looks so comfortable. Let me see it again.
Yeah, he looks great.
That's like happier than I feel like he looks in most pictures.
They look comfy. He looks happy. Yeah.
We don't know the man. He was in all kind of stuff. Man.
We don't know about anything about him. We know he likes chicken.
Just because when he
it.
died, they found 36 bottles of bleaching cream, that doesn't mean that he used them on his skin.
So this is, I think, where we get into some of the my concerns.
Okay.
And you feel free to tag in wherever. I did a quick Google. of just what surgeries Michael Jackson underwent. And they said he underwent multiple plastic surgery procedures throughout his life. Here's a timeline of the surgery.
It's all Amelia Perez propaganda, man. This ain't real, dog. This ain't real.
Early 80s, they say that he had rhinoplasty, nose surgery, to reduce the size of his nose. Yeah, early 80s, so it would have to be before the Pepsi. They also said that he started skin bleaching due to his vitiligo.
Come on.
That
real.
It was because of the skin condition. And I have seen interviews with his mom where she says that his bleaching was so severe, not his active bleaching, but like the bleaching of his skin from vitiligo was so severe, mostly under his clothes.
Right.
Which is why he started wearing long sleeves everywhere, which is why he started wearing the glove, was because it was like starting to spread. It started in his chest and then spread throughout his body.
That's so sad, man.
Really
we would have took it. If you'd have just been like, I'm Michael Jackson, I got vitiligo, we would have took it.
He could have Winnie Harlow'd that shit.
But there was no Winnie Harlow like that. I think about that all the time, but I also think that like he would have had to like really just, I don't know. I feel like the 80s was mean. And I feel like he would have had to take, you know what I'm saying? I think like he would have took, it would have been all kind of jokes. He would have took a lot.
He took himself into a white woman.
But he did take a lot. Look at all
he didn't pick like
he wrote Just Leave Me Alone. Another great song.
Great
Come on, man. Roller coaster around the body.
Yeah, come on. It looked like the Sledgehammer video from that rock and roll guy.
The man don't miss.
But he did take so much from it, right? Like,
yeah.
Do you think, I don't think he would have taken more had he let it rock than had he gone to the lengths that he went to.
I agree, but I do feel like, you know, that is the tricky thing about trying to alter your appearance, and especially for like the perception of others. You know, there's a great comedy special about that same thing called Frontin' on YouTube. You guys should check it out. But it is the curse of that thing where you're like, you're doing this thing, and then, you know, the goal of altering your appearance is, you know, acceptance. And sometimes reaching for that is what, you know, totally gets you ostracized, totally gets you unaccepted, you know? Right. But I think his experience was so bugged out already that it probably, you know, I think that's why he was able to be so drastic, because it's like, I have giraffes in my front yard. My life is already different.
Yeah, I hate
you know what I'm saying? Like I've been taking care of this whole family since I was 11. Like, you know, my life is just different.
Yeah.
So then it's just also like, okay, if I, you know, it might be a physical manifestation of that, of like, hey, when you see me, no, I'm not the same, because I'm not the same.
Yeah, I mean, there's something crazy in keeping your name the same, having gone from the brokest human being alive in Gary, Indiana. You know what I mean? With like nothing, literally no opportunity, no dream, no way of accessing anything.
Right.
And then suddenly becoming an ascended human to the point that you are like people pass out when you walk into a room.
Right.
Like, no, and you kept the name the same?
Right.
No, I have to change something to be able to demonstrate the transformation of it.
And to the timeline on that, right? The 80s would have seemed when it was the most... He was the most affected by that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the biggest transition in his, like... Because that's when he goes from, like... That's when he becomes icon, right?
Yeah.
The 80s is king of pop.
I think the Jackson 5 were massive, but I don't think that they were, like... I don't imagine that they were permanent in the people's minds of, like, oh, this group will be with us forever and always type shit.
And they weren't, like... Were they international? Like, Thriller to Bad is, like... That's, like...
I think that's when
now
he
you become. Now you're a legend. You're a living legend.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I think that like the Jackson 5 are in, you know, are popular, but they're thought of as a novelty.
Yeah.
And they're put in a box with other kids groups. Right. I think the stuff he did with the Jacksons when they went to Philly and Gamble and Huff and stuff, like some of that stuff kind of solidified them as in the mix in an R&B context.
Right.
And then when basically Off the Wall gets shunned from major category Grammys, kind of the same fight Beyonce, is fighting, and so many black artists fight as far as like acceptance overall, the entire music industry. That's when it's like, let's go pop. Let's put gold on the jacket. Let's go for it. And then they did it. And they did it so well. It was like the biggest album ever. And now it's like, it gets nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so he had to your point, he had to make some changes. He had to at least.
I'm not saying he had to. I'm just saying that, like, I feel for Michael Jackson sometimes, and I feel like now with the 2025 lens, we can be like, yes, he could have done so much for other people who had vitiligo, and like could have been transparent, and that could have been the next, instead of he could have been vulnerable. He could have showed us blah, blah, blah. But also I think like that's a lot to ask somebody who, probably.
It also wasn't a wave like it is now, right?
To do good for
to be vulnerable.
To be vulnerable
to go
in
to
that
therapy.
Way. It was still like
to be a good person. Like none of that was cool back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's not until recently. And then it's also now died, but it wasn't until recently that we actually wanted our heroes to be human.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't even know if we actually do.
No, that's what I mean. I think we killed it off immediately because we saw a bunch of like human qualities in all of these people, and we were like, oh, no, this is fucking awful. Go back to being completely separate from us. And now we can't figure out a way to put that back in.
Right.
We want it desperately to go away, and we can't fix it anymore. But no, I think Michael Jackson, he grew up in an era where there are gods and there are men, and he was a god, and he could not show that vulnerability as a god. That said, there are many other surgeries I'd love to cover with you.
All right, rumors. That's fine. You want to spread rumors on your platform, be my guest.
In the mid 80s, he apparently had additional rhinoplasty and cheek augmentation. Late 80s, he had eyelid surgery and lip augmentation.
Oh, that's when they got thin.
That's when they got real thin.
Is that when the ad-libs came, when it got real thin? Because that is...
There's nothing to block the noise.
That's the shit when they put your shit back. That's how you show it off. Like, look what they just did.
He was probably saying it the whole time, but them big old juicy lips was catching.
It was getting in the way. I like to think he wrote "Man in the Mirror" before.
Yeah,
and he tried to sing it, and he was like, "No,
it's not ready yet."
But it was too.
Those are blues lips, baby.
Yeah, he said.
You want to sing pop? You gonna need them boys. You gonna need them boys thin as a razor.
We don't realize it was for the art. That's like Rocky being like, "Cut me, Mick." That's what he
I can't do it right. Cut me.
You gotta take some juice out. I
love that this was all just a beautiful effort towards making better music.
Yeah.
In the early...
Because I do like those. That shit was so good.
In the early 90s, he got multiple rhinoplasties, chin augmentation again, and breast implants, which he later removed. I think they say breast. I imagine it was more chest implants.
Okay. Michael Jackson with huge titties would be great.
I don't think.
Just a couple days. Just a week, see what it was hitting on. Blanket ain't like it. He got rid of him.
My bad. I thought I could breastfeed you.
Yeah.
I thought.
What do you have, that bob haircut with the big titties?
That would be huge.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
What was that? You Are Not Alone.
You Are Not Alone.
He really abandoned that bob fast.
It's not good. I think we talked about it on here before. That was not.
We started to talk about it,
tiny nipples.
And then you distracted us with tiny. Have you ever seen Michael Jackson's nipples?
That's right.
Have you?
Yes, you have.
I feel like I've seen him.
Olivia, that's smut. I'm sorry. Olivia's showing us pictures of Michael Jackson with titties. She's showing us smut.
That ain't.
I can't see it, but I'm excited.
It sucks.
It's Mike and a bra, man. It ain't,
It ain't hitting like it's supposed to hit.
Nah.
I got you.
I'm sorry. Continue though. We're talking about the bob.
He got his bob. But in the meantime, he also in the mid-90s got a facelift and Botox injections.
Y'all believe that? I don't believe it.
In the 90s, late 90s, he got more rhinoplasties and a skin graft to repair damage from lupus.
Okay,
Right.
see? It's real.
Where they take it from?
I am seeing that picture now, and it does suck. You're right.
Yeah, it's tough.
And then in the 2000s, he got additional skin grafts and laser treatments. And then, of course, in 2009, he died from cardiac arrest from taking all that propofol.
I feel like in the 2000s, we weren't really seeing him as much visually.
See him at court.
Yeah,
on top of
what was the blanket
a Suburban and stuff, you
right.
know? The blanket thing, that was the 2000s.
A lot of umbrellas, a lot of face masks. He was early in COVID.
Early in the face mask.
Yeah,
you know?
in the COVID.
He called it. But compared to how exposed he was before, like, we watched him kind of our lifetime is watching him go further and further inside.
I think he went through so many sort of like heartbreaks just with like the accusations around obviously him being a sex criminal, but then additionally like the shit with his kids and like getting sort of exposed for whatever those weird relationships were, all the civil trials he was facing down, all the weird, like, then remember there was a period where he had started like suing his company, his record label for racial injustice. And he had like linked up with Johnny Cochran trying to like recoup funds off of what he claimed was them trying to tank his career. Like, I think he was so disillusioned with the world that you had to put an umbrella up and go inside.
He had Johnny Cochran first, though. He had Johnny Cochran before OJ.
Oh, he was before OJ?
Yeah. He might have gave OJ Johnny's number.
Whoa.
Damn. Johnny Cochran was on the first kid in the 90s. Johnny Cochran was on board, and then either Johnny Cochran had to leave or they settled or whatever. Or, Johnny Cochran left and then they settled or something.
Wow.
Johnny Cochran don't take no L's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and so then when OJ got with Johnny Cochran, it was like, he got lawyer to the stars. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's crazy if that's who OJ called.
I don't know if that's who he called. I'm just saying.
Mike, I need a number fast.
There's only one man I can call.
Call Johnny.
I wouldn't give you his number, but I heard you had a glove on, so, you know, gloves got to stick together, man.
If you believe that was his real voice.
I do not believe
that. That wasn't his voice. No, we've heard his real voice.
Man.
Yeah. In that, in the recordings for the video game, I think
that boxing game.
Yeah, that's what it was. The boxing game. They have the lost files of him.
Ready to Rumble.
I wish they had told us that was him. You know how many arguments I had in school about, man, there ain't no real Michael Jackson voice. He don't even know about Ready to Rumble. Yeah, man, that was really him. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Because I think they couldn't advertise it. I think Michael Jackson was in such hot water at the time. I don't think they could really advertise that it was him in the game, but I
bet that's why he changed his voice.
Yeah.
I bet he was like, out of respect to what y'all got going and you're still going to represent me, I'll give you my voice. I'll change it. I'll just give you a different Michael Jackson.
He made some of the songs for Sonic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The original?
One of the like
on the Segas.
Yeah, on the Sega.
Like the video game.
Yeah, the video game.
That's crazy.
Ghost produced some of Sonic.
Like when Sonic's underwater. That's crazy.
Yeah. Man, that was good. You remember
that's so
cool. Let Sonic hang out to just listen to the song?
Yeah.
And he starts tapping his foot and he puts his hand on his hip.
They would steal from music though back in those days. It's like the Wild Wild West. Nobody was protecting IP 16-bit form. So
That's
like,
fair.
yeah, there's some songs that's like, man, this sound familiar, and it's like, yeah, they was just taking stuff.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's also pretty cool. I don't know.
It's pretty cool.
Some of legal, and I say this fully being a person who I hope doesn't get all of his propriety ideas, whatever, stolen.
Right.
I really don't like the laws around like fair use. I really feel like you made some shit. I should be able to just, I want to put your song in my thing and I don't want to have to ask for it. And I know that's not nice.
Right. But I guess it's to prevent people from just totally jacking your song and just, you know,
and I think
put
there should be
2
laws
years on it, and then it's like, nah, it's my song.
I think there should be laws around that. I think that's crazy. If you made something, it should be yours, and you should be paid properly for that.
Right.
I just hate that the way that artists are forced to make their money is by having to manage all existence of their song anywhere.
Right.
Rather than you just getting paid off of the greatness of something you made, and then anybody can throw it on their fucking DVD because it's a great song and we can all appreciate that you got paid properly for it.
Right, right.
Yeah, but that's never going to happen.
And that's my problem, is that fair use is just us being punished for you all being snakes with the very artists you claim to represent.
That's real. That's real. But I mean, like, it sucks now. Like, I feel like this generation, I see, you know, being that I received so much Michael Jackson stuff, I get into Michael Jackson versus Prince stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But there's so many people that don't have knowledge of Prince because he was so protective of his IP online.
Right.
From the mid 2000s, basically until he died. And so there's so much Prince stuff that people didn't discover. There's so many people that don't have knowledge of Prince. Mm-hmm. And they're like, why would you even compare these two? But part of that is because they don't even know how, like, crazy Prince was going in the 80s. They don't know about a lot of his music. They don't know about a lot of his influence and all of that. And it's like, you know, but part of that was because he was so tight. Like, if you had a baby dance in 1999, he'd pull it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you have y'all heard about the Prince documentary?
They pulled it, right?
That's never gonna be.
The estate pulled it?
Yeah. So Netflix basically commissions this documentary from the same dude who made the OJ documentary. The one that was like
so it's like
the Oscar-winning 30 for
30 for 30 documentary.
So it's not like a puff piece. It's like a
no. This was like
documentary.
a true deep dive, and apparently I learned all of this on the daily. But apparently he went to the vault because that's how they basically, you know, Netflix got the rights to what was in the vault, and so they went to him and were like, "We're giving you all his shit. Go in the vault. Go ahead, make the documentary." He goes in the vault. He's like, bro, all the meaningful shit has been scrubbed. That like Prince was so on top of it in terms of keeping it private. He scrubbed anything that would have been like a sort of casual moment or anything that was like caught off guard ass Prince. It just is all clean photos and shiny shit, right?
Yeah.
And so he's pissed. Because like this sucks. I got access to the vault.
Yeah.
And it still sucks. I'm never gonna learn about this dude. And he goes on a 6-year mission talking to every single person who considered themselves in any way, shape, form close to Prince who will talk to him. And truly makes what they describe in the Daily as a masterpiece of a documentary about this dude. Really exploring like most of his childhood, unpacking all of this trauma that created the character, like really like digging into relationships and his sort of like abuses and also like the abuse that he put out, like all kinds of shit unpacked. And then the family, the estate saw it and was like, we gave them 17 pages worth of notes being like, we don't want this in there. We don't want that in there. That can't exist. Nobody needs to know about this, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, yo, I can give you like a taste, but I can't lie about what I've discovered.
Right.
And then Netflix and them were just like, fine, then it'll never exist. And now it's gone.
Somebody got it.
Somebody got it. He cut it.
Somebody got it, cut, bro. Right? Somebody got it. That might be my new mission to get the freaking Prince doc, bro.
I have mixed feelings about it, if I'm being honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, part of me is like, well, obviously I want to see the documentary. I'm such a massive Prince fan. It would mean the world to me to know more about this person. But I also think he did it. He beat the fucking game.
Bro, that's what I was thinking as you were describing it. I was like, damn, he got away clean.
He set out to keep his world private, despite being arguably the most talented human being that's ever walked the face of the earth.
Right.
He was like, I'm going to leave this world with you knowing nothing about me. And he did it.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, you deserve that privacy. You deserve to go into whatever afterlife exists for you, knowing that like you beat the game instead of this other version of the game where like a person dies and then we dig through all their shit and go, ain't this crazy? He had this the whole time?
Yeah,
no, that's what we need to know about that for.
Oh, no, he could still have his privacy. I'm not going to tell nobody. I just want to see it.
You just need it.
No, nobody else got to know.
Yeah.
I just want to see it.
I think the hard part is there are 1 billion people on the planet who feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I won't tell nobody.
No, I ain't going to clip it. I ain't going to make no content. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to see it. And, I ain't going to talk about it unless somebody else seen it.
There we go. Now you're lying.
Now somebody else saw it, then we can have a conversation.
There's no way.
Questlove had to see it. So if I ever see Questlove, I'm going to be like, yo.
You see that Prince doc?
You see that Prince doc?
There's no way.
The one.
They call you. They go, Rob, we're going to do a private screening, just you, no one else. We're going to let you watch the Prince documentary. You watch the entire Prince documentary. You have tears in your eyes by the end of it. It is that meaningful to you to get this moment. And then you walk out of that documentary. You go back to your home. You go back to your wife. There's no fucking way in the world that while y'all are brushing your teeth late at night, you don't go, the documentary was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I would tell my girl that.
You're gonna tell somebody.
They know I'm gonna tell my wife. Come on, man. She can't even testify against me. They know that.
And there's no way your wife isn't going back to her very challenging job and then being like, what were y'all up to this weekend? I ain't do much, but I'm going to tell you, Rob got to see that Prince album.
Yeah.
Everything is it's going to become public knowledge. This never stays private.
And that being said, how many people worked on it? There's like a lot of people have seen it, I'm sure.
On the documentary?
Yeah.
I bet a lot of people have seen it, but
there's editors, there's like the whole...
I bet a lot of it, a lot of what it is we know now because just of word of mouth that he was both controlling and abusive and complicated is ultimately what it all shows, is that like he was abused, was put out of his childhood home at 12 by his mom, then at 14 by his dad. He truly had to get
How old was he when they found him in that park?
That's what I'm saying. He had to get it out the mud at like 17, I think.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I assume he just played the album for his parents and they were like, well, you don't need to go to college.
Yeah. Honestly, you got it.
No.
Yo, that's crazy. I didn't know about this at all.
His mom was like apparently super like cold and their relationship was toxic, but then he moved in with his dad who he loved and admired, but his dad was hella religious.
Too bold.
Would like beat the shit out of him. Absolutely.
Come on, man. He's not a woman. He's not a man. He's something you can never comprehend. You know what I mean? He told us this.
But that's also part of what they claim makes the documentary so masterful, is that all these songs that you thought were about sex and sexuality are actually like just hammered with this duality where it's also about like a person struggling to find community, a person struggling to place their identity in a world that has rejected them from the beginning.
Jeez,
it's like it creates like all these fucking layers for who the human is, but also he didn't want us to know. And I kind of respect that he figured out a way to keep that so quiet.
It's crazy that Minnesota is the backdrop for all of this.
The whole time.
I respect it. I do feel like the reason his estate is protecting this is not for him, not for them, but just because it might affect the bottom line. There might be some people that are like, I don't want to play Prince music anymore.
Yeah.
Knowing certain things. And that's all they care about.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
Prince music was on Tidal only. That's the reason that I had Tidal. The minute he died, we go in the train station. It's Spotify ads for Prince all over the train station.
Right,
It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like they just,
Or
there's
like-
some people in that camp just out to make a buck.
It
You know?
does, and it does feel, it is very disheartening. Like when you go to the Minneapolis airport and there's that Prince store,
Yeah.
and you're like, damn, if there was some shit he would have hated.
Right.
It was,
Yeah, he didn't want this.
He didn't
Right.
want that at all.
And the documentarian talks about it in the interview that I listened to. He talks a lot about how, like, even going to Paisley Park, it's not like you're being informed on who Prince is. It truly is just a big gift shop. Like, they've turned it into, like, a fucking, Hard Rock Cafe for Prince more than it is, like, a real testament to, like, his ever-changing positions on, like, the world, on responsibility. The nigga died a Jehovah's Witness.
Right.
It's not
Yeah,
even
on Mike's
acknowledged.
team.
Like his
one of the
weird-
numbers.
Yeah.
How many is there supposed to be?
160,000 or something like that. It's something crazy.
The
That,
few, the proud.
yeah. No, I mean, you're not even given the chance to get to know who he is based off of the estate. Even regardless of like what becomes the more complicated details of his past.
Right.
They won't even give you a chance to do basic knowledge on who Prince was.
Right.
And so in that way, it is disheartening where you go, no, I think it would be really good for us as humans to know that our heroes can again be these complicated figures and still valuable. That said, I also respect that my hero really pulled a fast one on us. And I gotta say, big up, man. You did it.
I can live with that. I do. You know, when you put it that way, I do feel like that is ill. And yeah, I was looking forward to like, nah, we going in your stuff, dog.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the better way to just chalk it up to the game, man.
Damn, man. He might be the last one
That's
we
cool
never
if somebody
learned anything
won.
about.
Because I don't think a lot of people win that.
100%.
I don't think
Right.
that's really. I don't think a lot of people win that.
Daniel Day-Lewis, him,
He's still alive.
Daniel Day-Lewis, yeah, he's still with us.
But we don't know anything.
He might mess up. He might
We
mess
don't know
up.
He might
We don't
mess up.
He might slap somebody. We don't know.
I don't know where he's at.
He keeps it pretty private.
Yeah.
We'll see. He method. Who he playing next? You know what I'm saying?
Frank Ocean, kinda, but he got messy friends, so we be learning.
Yeah.
We be learning little tidbits about him every once in a while.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not a lot of the privates left. So
And I hate to say this on this medium. A lot of that is because podcasting.
yeah, no, we're
It's
ruining
like-
it for
it's
sure.
like too much.
How much of this is just gossip? We just come on here and gossip about
Don't do that. Don't do that.
it. Oh, I thought you knew. We just gossip.
No, stop it. Stop it. Just don't say it.
I think we did it. I think
We did
this
it,
is
man.
pretty good. Feels like a
Yeah.
good. I think certainly I still believe Michael Jackson got a lot more surgeries than you do, but I do.
I guess.
If I may, I do think there maybe is a more complicated reasoning behind the surgeries than just self-hatred, the way that it's often been
Right.
framed.
It's
Yeah.
often painted as the man wanted to be white, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I don't see it like
It's
that.
more complicated
Yeah.
than that for sure.
I think it's definitely more complicated than
It's
than
like,
he
man,
gets
you ain't
credit
never spun like he spun.
Never spun that far. I tried a lot of spinning because
I got a scar on my chair. I tried to do the smooth criminal lean, not
on.
knowing that, like, you know what I'm saying? They had
it was a
special
different shoe
shoes.
technology.
I just thought if you train your calves the right way,
No.
you know what I'm saying, you can get back up and then bow.
They
hit
had
myself
stapled
on
that
the
man
chin.
to the floor. And
Yeah.
no.
Still got to be strong though.
No, yeah.
Still gotta
I
be
think
real
there's a
strong.
bunch of us that even with that technology wouldn't come close to being
Yeah.
able to.
Yeah.
Certainly not
My
for the
pants
length
are
that
ripped
he
right
did.
through them special shoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'd have,
Exposed the whole trick to the world.
I'd
They be
have
like,
Zion-
look.
I'd have Zioned a hole in them shoes. There's no way in the world I would have pulled that off. Rob, could you tell the people where they can find you? What cool shit you got going on?
You can find me. I'm on the Inconsistent podcast with Rob Haze. Comes out when it's ready. Yeah, it's inconsistent in brand and in nature. I do the in-season podcast with my boy Jamel Johnson. Also, watch Lil Kev. Yeah, also Frontin' out now. It's on all streaming platforms. It's a album. It's also a special you can watch on YouTube if you like watching people talk. But yeah.
Hell yeah. Go watch Rob. Go listen to Rob. Go watch his shit. What you got?
April 25th and 26th, I'm going to be at the Dallas Comedy Club. May 8th through 11th, I'm going to be with Rob, right? Oh, no. Are you going to New Orleans? Ew, bad time to say that.
Maybe.
I won't be with Rob, but I'll be in New Orleans May 8th through 11th. Cool Guy Jokes 87 on Instagram, patreon.com/David Bory. Buy my special Birth of a Nation. It's the best special I've ever had.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's objectively true.
I'm going to say that every special.
I like that. You can follow me at Langston Kerman on all social media platforms. You can see me live. April 10th, I'll be in Salt Lake City. And then April 17th, I will be in Vegas at Wise Guys. And you can send us your own drops, your own conspiracy theories. You could tell us what color Michael Jackson would have been if he were still alive today. All at mymommapod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Give us a call at 844-LIL-MOMS. Buy some merch. Like, rate, subscribe, review, do all the important things that you need to do. And most importantly, bleach, bitch.
I don't give a fuck who say what, blood. On Crib.
My Momma Told Me is a production of Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network and iHeart Podcasts.
Created and hosted by Langston Kerman.
Co-hosted by David Bory.
Executive produced by Will Ferrell, Hansani, and Olivia Aguilar.
Co-produced by Bay Wang.
Edited and engineered by Justin Common.
Music by Nick Chambers.
Artwork by Dogon Krieger.
You can now watch episodes of My Momma Told Me on YouTube. Follow at My Momma Told Me and subscribe to our channel.